Good morning, good people. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about US strategic partners, their message to SADC concerning the Zimbabwe issue. What's going on? Yes, SADC must not fail, says the US strategic partners. So influential United States SADC strategic partners have told the SADC Secretariat that SADC must not fail to resolve the political crisis in Zimbabwe. Yes, so SADC must not fail to resolve this political crisis in Zimbabwe. Failure is to be taken by US SADC strategic partners as collusion between SADC and South Africa to let Zimbabwe disputed President Mnangagwa off the hook. Yes, so what they are saying that if SADC fails to resolve these issues, it simply means that SADC is working with South Africa to let Mnangagwa off the hook. They want him to be free and they don't care even if he rigs the elections. So the SADC Executive Secretary, Honorable Mr. Elias Mpendi Magosi, is leading the SADC Secretariat in Washington, D.C. and will participate in the 2024 IMF and World Bank spring meetings. He will most importantly also engage with the strategic SADC partners, largely from the USA. The partners are quite clear on what they are expecting from SADC. Yes. The disputed Zimbabwe President Emmerson Mnangagwa is under US sanctions. We are not going to keep up with SADC if the situation in Zimbabwe and SADC convince us that SADC, South Africa and Mnangagwa are one. We sadly will have to cut the ties. Yes, says the SADC strategic partners in USA. Zimbabwe held harmonized elections on the August 23-24 in 2023. Several electoral observation missions teams, which included European Union, African Union, and others dismissed the Zimbabwe elections as failing to meet threshold of international standards of a democratic election. SADC dismissed them as well with their SEOM report on Zimbabwe elections, saying the August plebiscite last year fell short of the revised SADC guidelines and the principles of a democratic elections. We have been following the SADC due process since November last year. In December 2023, in December 2023, SADC had two resolutions on the table. The Zimbabwe opposition, led by Nelson Chamisa, proposed fresh elections to be held in Zimbabwe, supervised by SADC, and SADC engaged ZANU-PF on the opposition demand. And what did Mnangagwa do? Mnangagwa took his time to get back to SADC and immediately started unleashing an org of political violence on the opposition activists, which notable tell CCC activist Tafumane Masaya dead. He was abducted and killed by ZANU-PF. So Mnangagwa also embarked on a mission to decimate completely the opposition Citizen Coalition for Change, led by Nelson Chamisa. He spent over 5 million of taxpayers' money on that project in Zimbabwe. With an ailing healthcare system, he gave cover to opposition rebel Sengezo Chabango, who worked under his protection to recall CCC MPs from parliament. He ordered the electoral body ZEC to trigger by-elections. The opposition MPs that had won the constituencies in August last year were barred by the Zimbabwe courts from contesting in the by-elections, leaving ZANU-PF candidates to stand uncontested and declared winners. ZANU-PF won the two-thirds majority, which Mnangagwa was desperate for this. Meanwhile, sensing the heavy infiltration by ZANU-PF on his CCC party, Nelson Chamisa resigned from the opposition movement. Mnangagwa had successfully destroyed the opposition. Now he hoped the SADC would soften its stance on him and SADC and ZANU-PF. So when Emmerson Mnangagwa failed to convince SADC that fresh elections in Zimbabwe, as demanded by the opposition, was not a good resolution, he proposed a government of national unity, GNU, instead. The opposition rejected a GNU and ZANU-PF and stood firm on their fresh election demand. After what the opposition had and we are going through, naturally rejected the GNU with ZANU-PF. SADC had no choice but to go with the opposition fresh elections demand. But there was a problem. South Africa, an influential SADC member state, was and is still standing with Mnangagwa. As the situation stands, SADC, with close to 12 weeks to their June 30 fresh elections in Zimbabwe date, must defy South Africa and announce fresh elections in Zimbabwe. Of course, easier said than done, and you find the dynamics difficult to understand, not really your fault. SADC is under pressure. One can say SADC is regretting their pronouncements after the August Zimbabwe election last year. That the plebiscite fell short of the revised SADC guideline principles of a democratic election. The point is, after such announcement, people expect SADC to take action, something they are now struggling with. So yes, SADC didn't do that, but now they are facing the consequences and they are trying to fix their problem, their issues. So that is what's going on right now. But we don't know what is going to happen. You know, SADC is going to take action, as they are saying, but with this space, at least they've set the dates, June 3rd fresh elections, just after South African elections in May. So tell us what you think about this. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next video. Stay judged.